weird how God gets our attention? Isn't it weird? I'm going to say it again because you were... Isn't it weird? It's hard. Isn't it weird how God gets our attention? It usually isn't through a burning bush, although that would be very cool. It's usually God gets our attention through the small, everyday things. We want to hear God talking to us, but sometimes it's not as obvious to us as we would like. God's voice sounds fuzzy, and then at other times, it hits us out of the clear blue, if you're willing to listen for it. Like the other day, I was at the store with my granddaughter, who was staying with us as a last-minute thing. Her mom and dad had conflicts going on, and so I said, of course she could stay with us, even though I had places to go, people to see, things to do. We were standing in a forever long line, and I was ignoring my granddaughter, who was staying with us as a last-minute thing. I was checking my list, looking through my coupons, looking for my debit card, which I yet again couldn't find, and I was distracted enough to ignore this beautiful child, and she said to me,
Nana, Nana, Nana.
Still ignoring, with everyone in line looking for me, at me like I should do something about it. Finally, she grabbed me by my arm, and she started to pull on it.
Nana.
And again,
Nana, Nana.
what do you want? You're driving me crazy.
I just wanted to say I love you.
Don't aw. She would drive you crazy too. I looked like I had gotten hit by a bus, and everyone went aw and looked at her like she was the sweetest, most loving child. And I saw her with a big heart full of love. It hit me that I had put too much attention on unimportant things rather than this sweet child who offered me her unconditional love. It hit me as I was sitting in the car, yet again annoyed, stuck in traffic, in a hurry to get home, because I had places to go, people to see, things to do, ready to put things away, make some lunch, give my daughter a TV show to watch, and by the way, I hadn't checked Facebook yet today. It occurred to me that God had a way of catching us off guard. As I sat in my car, I heard that little voice. It's the only way I can say it, you know. That voice that we hear telling us stuff, but we tend to ignore it. Even though we ask God to talk to us all the time. And then when we do listen to it, and it seems like that's God talking to us, we feel much like we're being too holy roller-ish. So we pretend the voice wasn't God at all. And then you stop and you really listen.
Pam, my daughter, I love you. Please listen to my voice.
It was almost as if God was saying,
You are too busy, absent-minded and unfocused woman. You are doing so many things that you don't hear me telling you I love you.
well, I tried to ignore this nudge from God, but I knew he was right. What do you mean, God? And then I started thinking about my day, my absent-minded, too busy day, and what happened at the store with my granddaughter. My hectic week, my busy, busy, busy month. I get so busy trying to make everyone happy and taking on too many things and thinking about everything I want to do and who I want to be with, and I leave very little time for anything else. I am busy being busy. I hate to say it, but sometimes I get too caught up in how I look, what I should wear, if people like me, if I fit in, what I want to do, who I want to be with, why I wasn't invited to a meeting, and I leave very little time for anything else. I neglect the people that mean the most to me. I'd been so busy,
Pam.
I couldn't hear God saying my name.
Pam,
And at the same time,
Pam.
I'd secretly blamed God
Pam.
for all the stuff that hadn't gone my way. Then, there I am getting so annoyed with my granddaughter, not listening to her, and her reaction back was total and unconditional love. In the book of Revelation, it talks about how much the church was doing all these great things in God's name, kind of like they were busy being busy. But they had forgotten their first love, God. I want to make the best of my absent-minded times less and less. I want to live in constant awareness of how much God loves me, even when things don't go my way. I am, however, very thankful that He took the time to remind me of what I had forgotten. I guess it was my wake-up call. Maybe it's yours too. I love you, sweetie. Let's go play.